Going to college is the old way. Now, in this day and age, you need to consider the new way. The approach that you took in the past may have made sense in the past, but it's only one of the possible solutions going forward. We're going to discuss that. Welcome, colleagues. George Sloan. This is the Myford University studio that I'm in, which is Myford F-150. We are the Myford channel, Myford University channel. I'm glad you're tuned in. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a like and a share. We talk about all sorts of alternatives to traditional higher education. We believe in education. We just don't believe that going to college is the only way to go. It's one way to go. It's a very expensive way. It's very time consuming, but it's not the only way. And we talk about new ways to approach things. In this day and age, you have so much available at your fingertips that you can circumvent going the traditional route. There are people who circumvented it in the past, but they actually had to work even harder to do that circumvention. Now you're able to do it in a number of different formats. There is a great number of books, there's a great number of courses, great number of certifications, online, social media. There is so much available to you. It has never been easier to self curate your continuing or lifelong learning. You really, a lot of people also make the mistake of thinking that once they graduate college, learning is over. No, it's not. You should constantly be upgrading, constantly be improving. What used to be able to be milked for decades cannot be done anymore. You need to be upgrading. I used to say you have to upgrade about every 5 years. Now I'm thinking every 18 months to 2 years, and very soon, I think you're going to need to upgrade every 12 months. And when I say upgrade, I'm talking about sharpening your skills, getting new knowledge, learning new technologies, learning new techniques. There's a whole bunch of different things out there. Um, I am a big proponent of starting a small business because you want to get your feet wet and get an understanding of what business is really like. There's no better substitute than that. Uh, that's not to say that you shouldn't go and learn. I'm constantly reading books. I'm constantly taking courses. I'm constantly doing certifications. And I do that because I want to stay relevant. I want to stay sharp. I want to improve. I want to learn new techniques. I tend to borrow things from different areas and put them together. I'm not set on what's in the past. Now, you can sit here and say, oh, well, in the past, you got a bachelor's degree, you got an MBA, and you got a master's degree. Yeah, I did. But that was in the past. Number one, I shouldn't rest on those laurels, and should continue my education, which I do in a number of ways, and I share a lot of that here. But the other thing about that is my approach today would be totally different than my approach was then. My approach then, fit with what the common approach was at that time. Now, to me, that's not the way to go. There are so many better options. I don't think that I would want to waste 4 years of my life or 2 years of my life, college degree or master's degree, for example, and the crazy amount of money that nowadays you have to spend because education has gone through the roof. And quite frankly, they're out of their heads. I don't know what they're thinking. They're just getting away with it, and people are starting to wake up, and they're coming to the conclusion that there are other approaches and other ways. And we talk about a lot of those right here. My feeling is that you need to do what works for you. You need to look at different ways to learn, look at different ways to create value and solve problems in the real world. And there's a number of resources that you can use to get yourself up to speed. That's not to say, rolling up your sleeves and getting your hands dirty is a bad thing. You really should do that because it's through trial and error, that you're going to learn how to do it. I mean, the more you do something and the longer you do something, the better you get at it, the faster you get at it. And then you see new ways of doing it and you innovate and improve. Those are the new approaches to higher education. Don't go and live in the past. I say it all the time. What worked for grandma and grandpa or your mom and dad might not necessarily work for you. Granted, there are exceptions. STEM, I still think there's a place for you to go to school and get a traditional education. In some cases, it's mandatory. STEM, by the way, is science, technology, engineering, and math. Additionally, law and education typically require that you go and get that, undergraduate and in some cases graduate degree. Although that's an artificial barrier to entry because years ago, you didn't have to go to college before you got a law degree, but that's a whole other story. The bottom line is you have a number of different choices in front of you, and some of them are a lot more cost effective and time effective than others. And I also point this out all the time. Everyone always thinks about the price, but the price and the cost, they're not as important as the time cost. You can make more money, but you cannot make more time. And wasting 4 years of your life when you could actually be out in the field learning and earning as opposed to paying to learn and then not having the promise of a job at the end or having a promise of a career at the end, it's a poor return on investment. It's a poor gamble, and there are other approaches. So don't get stuck, in the old way of getting an education. Think in terms of some of the new ways to get educated. And by the way, some of these new ways are not really that new. What's old is new again, as they say. Um, Before college became a really big thing, people learned by doing. They learned in the field. They learned in apprenticeships. They learned doing it and actually solving problems and adding value in the real world. So another way, I guess my last point on this is, college may still make sense for 20% of the people, but 80% of the people, there are other alternatives available to you. Um, you know, it's the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. It really isn't for everybody. And it shouldn't be. It's one approach. It's not the approach. So don't get fooled. Think of new ways to approach it. Listen, if you're dead set on going to college, go. Or if you go and you try your own approach and you're not feeling like you got there, college will still be there, and you can do it, afterwards. But I would not go and blow 4 years and 200 to 300,000, or 2 more years for an MBA and up to $200,000 more to get something that you can get, on your own faster and more affordably. So, if you are interested in this kind of material and you want to learn more, you're in the right place. This is the Myford University channel. There is a sub channel that I have that is dedicated purely to MBA oriented stuff. That's called the MBA Accelerator channel. There's also myforduniversity.com, where there is podcast and blog, quite a bit of great material there. Get on the mailing list over there, subscribe to here or to the MBA Accelerator channel. Give us a like, give us a share. I always say, don't keep us a secret. We believe in learning it fast and applying it faster, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you learn, it's what you can do with what you know. And that's where we put a lot of the emphasis. If you're interested, please tune in the next time. I'm George Sloan. I want to thank you for viewing today. Learn it fast, apply it faster, and we'll see you the next time.